The upcoming debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump could significantly impact their election campaigns. Scheduled for September 10th at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia, this 90-minute debate marks their first major confrontation. What rules and format will guide this event? How will each candidate's style and policies steer the discussion? And what key factors might influence undecided voters? The debate will be held in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center on Tuesday, September 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The debate will last 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. Moderators David Muir and Lindsay Davis will be the sole questioners. A virtual coin toss on September 3rd determined podium placement and the order of closing statements. Donald Trump won the toss and chose to give the last closing statement, while Kamala Harris selected the podium on stage left. The moderators will introduce the candidates and enter from opposite sides of the stage, with the incumbent party being introduced first. There will be no opening statements, but each candidate will have 2 minutes for their closing statement. Candidates must remain behind their podiums throughout the debate and cannot use props or pre-written notes. Topics and questions will not be disclosed beforehand. They will be provided with a pen, a pad of paper, and a bottle of water. Their microphones will be live only when it's their turn to speak, and muted otherwise. Candidates cannot ask each other questions. Campaign staff are not allowed to interact with candidates during commercial breaks. Moderators will enforce timing and ensure a respectful discussion. The debate will take place without an audience, which may hurt Trump. Trump excels in debates through disruption and drama. His Gish-Gallop strategy bombards opponents with a flood of arguments, many irrelevant or misleading, leaving them struggling to respond and the audience overwhelmed.
I know you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is real tough. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Putin, from everything I see, has no respect for this person.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
But
Trump's authoritarian style amplifies this approach, focusing on domination and humiliation. Trump's debates prioritize performance over substance. His insults and personal attacks target opponents' vulnerabilities, aiming to distract and unsettle. Whether mocking appearances or floating controversial theories, Trump aims to keep rivals on the defensive.
Why would you answer that question?
The question is,
the radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen.
His counterpunching ability is notable. Trump frequently interrupts and uses rapid-fire remarks to unbalance opponents, as seen in his debates with Biden, where he exploited Biden's mistakes and reinforced doubts about his competence. For Trump, debates are a reality TV show. He positions himself as the central figure, using catchy slogans and dramatic gestures to capture attention. His control over the narrative, through attacks on moderators or strategic interruptions, ensures he remains in the spotlight. However, Trump's reliance on predictable insults and dramatic tactics can diminish their impact over time. His style might falter against a disciplined opponent like Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has honed her debate skills over the years. Early in her career, she capitalized on opponents' mistakes. Her ability to deliver impactful one-liners highlights her talent for making decisive points. Harris is known for her sharp instincts and seizing moments, as evidenced by the 2020 vice presidential debate.
Well, let's get
but Susan, this is important. I want to add, but Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Underscored her ability to assert control under pressure. However, Harris has struggled with clear messaging, as seen in criticisms of her prosecutorial record and inconsistent positions on busing and climate change. As she prepares for her debate with Trump, Harris aims to counter his aggressive style while highlighting her own strengths. Her strategy includes emphasizing Trump's failures and differentiating herself from him and President Biden. Preparation involves mock debates with Trump impersonator Philippe Reines and managing personal attacks to avoid past mistakes. Faced with Trump's disruptive tactics, Harris must address her weaknesses and counter Trump's approach to succeed. Trump and Harris are largely focusing on swaying undecided voters. Let's see what talking points each candidate will offer in the upcoming debate. First, the foreign policy. Donald Trump's foreign policy is defined by unpredictability and disruption. He has challenged NATO, proposed steep tariffs on Chinese imports, and shown pro-Russia sentiments. His promises to swiftly end the Russia-Ukraine war and his strong pro-Israel stance highlight his chaotic and unconventional approach to international relations. Kamala Harris, who is still formulating her foreign policy, is expected to follow a path similar to President Biden's. Analysts anticipate she will focus on strengthening alliances and maintaining active American engagement globally, aiming for a more stable and predictable diplomatic approach. On national security and dealing with China, Trump was preferred over Harris by 4 points, down from 10 points over Biden. On immigration and border policy, Trump aims to reinstate his hardline immigration policies, including sealing the border and large-scale deportations. He plans to revive previous measures like the travel ban on Muslim-majority countries. His approach is focused on strict enforcement and significant restrictions. In contrast, based on her experience as California's Attorney General, Kamala Harris will likely emphasize addressing transnational crime while maintaining some restrictive asylum policies. She supports bipartisan efforts to enhance border security and balance enforcement with humanitarian concerns. Immigration is an issue that energizes Republican voters. Trump was favored by 3 points, down from the 13-point preference he had over Biden. Talking about the economy and tax policy, Trump plans to revive his previous economic policies, including tax cuts, deregulation, and trade conflicts with China. He proposes lowering the corporate tax rate, imposing broad tariffs, and reversing green energy initiatives. However, his strategies to tackle inflation and lower interest rates remain unclear. Kamala Harris, expected to build on Biden's economic agenda, will focus on family support, such as paid leave and childcare. She supports progressive economic policies and may appoint liberal figures to key positions to expand social safety nets and support middle-class families. On the economy, which is the voters' top concern, Trump was favored over Harris by 6 percentage points. Of course, that's an asset, but it is less than half the 14-point advantage he held over Biden in June. On abortion, Trump's abortion stance has been inconsistent. While he has praised state-level restrictions and describes himself as pro-life, he has not committed to a national abortion ban and has shown varied positions on the issue over time. Kamala Harris is a strong advocate for abortion rights. She has proposed measures to protect access, including requiring states to seek Justice Department approval for changes to abortion laws. Harris's presidency would likely advance protections for abortion rights, contrasting sharply with Trump's record. Speaking of abortion, on healthcare, Harris had double-digit advantages of 14 points and 19 points. Both were wider than Biden's 10-point advantages. But what do the polls say? A new USA Today poll reveals a shift in the presidential race, with Vice Harris gaining ground against Trump. As President Joe Biden steps aside, Harris has narrowed the enthusiasm gap with Republicans and reduced Trump's lead on key issues like the economy and immigration. Harris now leads Trump 48%, 43%, within the poll's margin of error. With the debate set for Tuesday, September 10th, around 10% of voters remain undecided or open to changing their minds. Will this debate be the deciding factor for those voters? We can't wait to find out.